गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं तेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्बा त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितं लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। गीताशास्त्रमिदं पुण्यं यः पठेत् प्रयतः पुमान् विष्णोः पदमवाप्नोति भयशोकविवर्जितः। गीताध्ययनशीलस्य प्राणायामपरस्य च नैव सन्ति हि पापानि पूर्वजन्मकृतानि च। मलनिर्मोचनं पुंसां जलस्नानं दिने दिने सकृद्गीताम्भसि स्नानं संसारमलनाशनम्। गीतासु गीता कर्तव्या किमन्यैः शास्त्रविस्तरैः या स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्माद्विनिसृता भारतामृतसर्वस्वं विष्णोर्वक्त्राद्विनिसृतं गीता गङ्गोदकं पीत्वा पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। एकं शास्त्रं देवकीपुत्रगीतमेको देवो देवकीपुत्र एव एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा। शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभाङ्गं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिभिर्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः मन्दारगन्धसंयुक्तं चारुहासं चतुर्भुजं बर्हि पिच्छावचूडाङ्गं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं रुक्मिणीकेलिसंयुक्तं पीताम्बरसुशोभितम् अवाप्ततुलसीगन्धं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् उत्फुल्लपद्मपत्राक्षं नीलजीमूतसन्निभं यादवानां शिरोरत्नं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं च यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देवनारायण नमोऽस्तु ते कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि अस्तु. So I think last week we stopped at 23rd shloka, right? Yatra kale tvanavrittim avrittim chaiva yoginah prayata yanti tam kalam vakshyami bharatarshava. That is where we stopped, right? So basically,
yes, please.
So in this shloka, Paramatma is saying that at what time or what will happen during that prayana kalam. Prayata yanti tam kalam vakshyami. So Bharatarshava yoginaha or karminaha yasmin samaye mritaha avrittim va anavrittim eva yanti tam kalam vakshyami. So whether he will be born again or will he attain moksha? When will he attain moksha? Or when will he be born again? Okay, when will he attain moksha or when he will come back again? So how that will be determined? How that will be determined? These are the three things that will be told. So there are three stages, we can say. There are three stages where the first stage is where upasana is being done. When person practices upasana, sadhana, he will attain the Devalokas. Once he attains the Devalokas, there also he can still perform practice. He can still continue his sadhana. If he continues his sadhana to the point where he can attain moksha, he will attain moksha. So there is no returning. So if a person who does the sadhana here on earth, he will definitely attain the Devalokas. In the Devaloka, he can be for a very long time. So many yugas also he will be there. And during his stay in the Devalokas, he can still perform sadhana. If he performs a sadhana and attains moksha, then he will not come back. Some people may not continue performing sadhana. They will think, oh, I already am in the Devaloka. There is nothing more to do. So they will enjoy the Devaloka. They will stop doing their sadhana, or maybe they are not doing as much. They are simply enjoying. They will come back. So they can come back or they can attain moksha. Still, that is in the hands of that Jivatma. Anantaram, second stage is where people here are doing Satkarmacharana. They will not go to Devalokas. They will not go to, they are not qualified to go to Devalokas. They will only go to Pitrulokas. And people who go to Pitrulokas will definitely come back. There is no choice for them. They will definitely come back. Only people who go to Devalokas will have an option of attaining moksha or coming back, depending again on their own sadhana. Whereas people who are doing Satkarmacharana, Kevalam, they go to Pitrulokas, which is also a very good stage. But they will definitely come back. Even though they continue their sadhana there, they will still come back. Again, they have more to work on. They have not entered into that Jnana Marga, so they will come back for continuing their sadhana. And once they continue their sadhana and become upasakas, then they will enter Devaloka, and there again they will have an option. But if they are unable to enter the upasana stage, if they are still only continuing doing Satkarmacharana without maybe with attachment, so that stage they are unable to completely obtain upasana state. So they will definitely come back. And the third categories are who are not doing any kind of Satkarmacharana. They are only living for themselves, taking advantage of other people. If necessary, doing bad things like stealing, killing people, such things. So they will not even go to Pitrulokas. They will be born as into shariras which are less than the human sharira, like animals or insects or this or that, which are not even a human form. They will be born. They will be reborn into another body which is not human body. So by that, what does it mean? They don't even have the opportunity of doing Satkarmacharana. So they cannot refine themselves. They cannot work towards their goal. They are not even given that opportunity. Why? Because only humans have this opportunity of performing Satkarmacharana, chanting the name of God, doing some kind of sadhana. Only we have, because we have this buddhi. With this buddhi, we can think and do, the right thing. Whereas if they are born as a Kitaka, what can a Kitaka do? The whole life of Kitaka, it will spend eating and, doing whatever is necessary as a Kitaka. That's all. It cannot do anything else. So even if it wants to, even if the Jivatma wants to do something, it is stuck in the body of a non-human Sharira, and it cannot do anything. So that is the third state. That is the third state. Third kind. Okay. Now here in the next shloka, it will the next shloka explains how the Devalokas will be there, how the Pitrulokas will be there. Okay. So let us move on to the 24th shloka. So Savitri Bhagini.
Yes, but I will. Agnirjyotira ahah shuklaha षण्मासा उत्तरायणं तत्र प्रयाता गच्छन्ति ब्रह्मविदो जनाः अग्निः ज्योतिः आहः शुक्लः षण्मासा उत्तरायणं तत्र प्रयाता गच्छन्ति ब्रह्मविदः जनाः अग्निः इकारान्त पुल्लिङ्ग प्रथमाविभक्ति एकवचन ज्योतिः इकारान्त पुल्लिङ्गम् एव वा ज्योतिः स्त्रीलिङ्गं पुल्लिङ्गम् एव प्रथमाविभक्ति एकवचनः आहः रकारान्त नपुंसकलिङ्ग प्रथमाविभक्ति एकवचन शुक्लः अकारान्त पुल्लिङ्ग प्रथमाविभक्ति एकवचन षण्मासा प्रथमाविभक्ति बहुवचन उत्तरायणम् अकारान्त नपुंसकलिङ्ग प्रथमाविभक्ति एकवचन तत्र अव्ययम् प्रयाता Prayata. What is that? Prathama vibhakti bahuvachanam.
Prayataha.
Prayata. Gachanti. Gam dhatuhu. Latlakara parasmaipadi. Prathama purusha madhya. Prathama purusha bahuvachanam. Brahma. Akaranta napumsakalinga. Ditya vibhakti ekavachanam.
Nakaranta.
Brahma.
Brahman.
Brahman. Nakaranta. Yes, sorry. Nakaranta. Ditya vibhakti ekavachanam. Brahmavidaha. Prathama vibhakti bahuvachana. Akaranta pullingam va?
Pumlingam.
Janaha akaranta pullinga. Prathama vibhakti bahuvachana.
So here vidaha, Brahma vidaha, it is not akaranta, it is dakaranta, vid, Brahmavid shabda.
Brahmavid shabda. Oh, Brahmavid.
Because if it were akaranta pumlinga, vidaha, it should have been. So it is vidaha. So Brahmavid.
Dakaranta.
So pumlinga. Similarly, you were asking about Jyotihi, that is Apumsaka Prathama Ekavachanam, Jyotis Shabda.
Sakaranta.
Sakaranta Napumsakalinga.
Napumsakalinga. Yes. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Padartha. Agnihi analaha devata. Jyotihi kantihi. Ahaha divasaha. Shuklaha. Shuklapakshaha. Shanmasaha. Uttarayanam. Shanmasa vidhi. Shanmasa avadhika uttarayanam. Tatra tasmin kale prayataha gataha brahmavidaha brahmopasakaha janaha manavaha brahma param vastu gachanti yanti. Anvaya. Agnihi jyotihi ahaha shuklaha shanmasaha uttarayanam tatra prayataha brahmavidaha janaha brahma gachanti. Tatparyam. Yatra analaha devata kantihi devata divasaha devata shuklapakshaha shanmasavadikam uttarayanam devata tasmin kale gataha brahmopasakaha janaha brahma gachanti. Vyakarna sandhi. Agnir jyotirahaha. Agnihi plus jyotihi plus ahaha visarga sandhi refaha. Shanmasa uttarayanam. Shanmasaha plus uttarayanam visarga sandhi lopaha. Prayata gachanti. Prayataha gachanti visarga sandhi lopaha. Brahmavido janaha. Brahmavidaha janaha visarga sandhi sakaraha refaha ukaraha gunaha. Samasaha. Uttarayanam. Ayante gachanti. Anena iti ayanam margaha. Uttaram ayanam karmadharaya samasa. Brahmavidaha brahma vidanti iti brahmavidaha. Kartari equip upapada samasascha.
So here Priyapadam kim?
Gachanti.
Gachanti. Ke gachanti.
Prayataha bahuvida janaha.
Prayataha bahuvida janaha gachanti. Kutra gachanti?
Brahma gachanti.
Brahma gachanti. So how do these other words fit? Uttarayanam, Shanmasaha, Shuklaha, Ahaha, Jyotihi, Agnihi. These are all the devatas. These are all the devatas that help the departed, the Jivatma when it leaves the Sharira, and especially the Jivatma that is a sadhaka. A Jivatma who is a sadhaka, when it departs its body, when it leaves the body, all these devatas help that Jivatma to reach Brahma, to reach the Brahma Loka, to reach the Brahma Lokam. There again, depending on their sadhana, whether they attain moksha or not is dependent. But first to reach the Brahma Lokas, all these will help. So that is why they say Uttarayanam is between the two ayanas. Uttarayanam is a better period for a body, for a
To
jiva,
get Brahmaloka.
for a body to depart, for a jivatma to depart the body. So similarly, all these, the Shuklaha also. Shuklaha is the Shukla Paksha. Ahaha,
Yeah.
the daytime. Jyotihi is the light from the sun you can consider. Agnihi.
Yes.
And all these are devatas. So all these devatas help the jivatma to go to the Brahma lokas when it leaves the body. Okay. And what
Yes.
kind of people are led there? Brahma vidaha janaha. That we should notice. Not anybody who departs
Wants
their
to go there.
the Uttarayanam.
Yes.
It is not like everybody who departs in the Uttarayanam period, they will go to Brahma lokas. Brahma vidaha janaha Brahma gachanti. And for that Brahma vidaha janaha, all these will act as helping hands to lead them, lead that Jivatma to the Brahma lokam. That we have to understand.
Yes.
Okay. Anantaram, Surya Bhagini.
Mother. भूमो रात्रिस्तथा कृष्णः षण्मासा दक्षिणायनं तत्र चान्द्रमसं ज्योतिर्योगी प्राप्य निवर्तते धूमः अकारान्त पुल्लिंग प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनं रात्रिः కూడా
प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनं इकारान्त स्त्रीलिंग शब्दं
रात्रिः అని ఉంది కదా రాత్రిः అయిన స్త్రీలింగం
इकारान्त स्त्रीलिंगं मतिः शब्द इकारान्त मतिः ఉంది కదా సేమ్ లైక్ దట్ రాత్రిः इकारान्त
तथा अव्ययं कृष्णः अकारान्त पुल्लिंग एकवचनं प्रथमा विभक्ति षण्मासा षट् मासाः మాసం అవుతుంది ఇది మాసం నపుంసకలింగం
షణ్మాస కాదు షణ్మాస అకారాంత పుంలింగ బహువచనం మామూలుగా మాసం వేరు మాసం is a different shabda. Here this is that akaranta napumsakalingam is also there, but here shanmasaha akaranta pumlinga bahuvachanam eva.
దక్షిణాయనం ఇది కూడా ప్రథమ విభక్తి నపుంసకలింగం ఏకవచనం దక్షిణాయనం తత్ర అవ్యయం చంద్రమసం ఇది కూడా నపుంసకలింగం ఏకవచనం ఏకవచనం ప్రథమ విభక్తి
ద్వితీయ చంద్రమసం జ్యోతిః yogi prapya nivartate. So here because so that yogi chandramasam jyotihi prapya nivartate. So here this yogi means the satkarma charana, he who is doing the satkarma charana but not an upasaka, he will obtain chandramasam jyotihi. Means we can consider this as the pitrulokas, but he will come back. After obtaining the pitrulokas, he will again come back. Nivartate.
योगी योगिन शब्दం ప్రథమ ఏకవచనం ప్రథమ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం ప్రాప్య లభంతం నివర్తతే లక్లకారం వృ ధాతువు కదా ఇది ఈ ఉపసర్గ ఉపసర్గ లక్లకారం ఆత్మనేపది ఏకవచనం పదార్థः धूमः देवताः रात्रिः निशा देवता कृष्णः कृष्णपक्षः देवता तथा एवं षण्मासाः दक्षिणायनं षण्मासावधिकं दक्षिणायनं तत्र तस्मिन् समये योगी कर्मयोगी च चान्द्रमसं चंद्र संबंधी ज्योतिः अच्छिः कान्तिं प्राप्य लब्ध्वा निवर्तते पुनः आगच्छति। अन्वयः धूमः रात्रिः कृष्णः तथा षण्मासाः दक्षिणायनं तत्र योगी चान्द्रमसं ज्योतिः प्राप्य निवर्तते। तात्पर्यं यत्र धूमः देवता रात्रिः देवता एवं कृष्णपक्षः देवता षण्मासाः दक्षिणायनं देवता तत्र काले गतः योगी चंद्रलोकं प्राप्य निवर्तते। व्याकरणं నివర్తతే అంటే
నివర్తతే
వస్తారన్నట్ట
తిరిగి రావడం.
తిరిగి రావడం.
Prapya. Lokam prapya nivartate means they will go because of the satkarma charana that they have done. They will go to the pitru lokas. They will go only to the pitru lokas. Why? Because they have done these satkarma charana with a little bit of phalapeksha and with a little bit of attachment. Phalapeksha kada bhavati. Only when we have attachment, we have that phalapeksha, right? I am doing what am I going to get? That kind of phalapeksha is there. So they are not qualified to enter the devalokas. They are only qualified to enter into the pitru lokas because they are still doing good. They are not doing anything bad. They are still doing good. So they have accrued some punyam, and because of that punyam, they will go to pitru lokas, and there they will stay in the pitru lokas for as long as their whatever they have accrued that time. Until that time they will stay there, and when it is time for them, they will again come back to the bhumi again to whatever karmas they have done. They have to, whether karmas or the bad karmas, they have to experience those, the good and the bad. Until then they will be here, and when they come back, if they are still continuing to be the same way, that satkarma charana with phalapeksha, if they do, this cycle will repeat. They will go to the pitru lokas and come back, go to the pitru lokas and come back. They have to break that. To break that, what should they do? They should practice phalapeksha, without phalapeksha, doing the satkarma charana without having attachment. That they have to practice. Only when they practice that and break the attachment completely and do everything only as their duty and responsibility, no kind of attachment, no kind of phalapeksha, then they will qualify into entering the jnana marga. Once they enter the jnana marga, even the karma charana is not required. So they can completely focus on how to spend every minute in the dhyanam. That also we have studied. Even though people enter into the jnana marga, sometimes they are unable to focus completely. Like in everything you have to look only Paramatma. In everything you should be able to see only Paramatma, nothing else. Even if you are able to see Paramatma 99% of the times, 1% you are unable to see, still you will not attain. We know the story of Dhruva. Right? He did so much of penance, and even Lord Vishnu was very pleased, but was unable to see Paramatma in his stepmother, and he had that rajogunam. Why? Because even when Narada said, why do you want to do this at your age? You have to take it easy. Whatever your stepmother said, you have to take it easy, and you have to perform your duties as a king, or as a king's son right now, and later on as a king. No, he had that little bit of rajoguna. Why can't I sit on the lap of my father? I have to, whatever it takes. That kind of thinking only is rajoguna. So all these are the factors for him to not attain moksha. Similarly, he is a very good person. He has done so many good deeds. He had so much of determination, to attain moksha and everything. But because there are still a few places where he needed to work on, he was left on the bhumi for so long. Only after he completely was able to surrender to the Paramatma, that is when. So similarly, any person, until they attain that complete detachment, which is very difficult. We have studied that also. It is not easy. It will take many janmas. That is why we should not get disappointed. Today we started, we expect the result tomorrow. That will not happen. First, we have to accept that. One step at a time, we have to keep working, and we will be falling back. We have to take our inspiration from ants. You know, they keep climbing, they keep falling back. But spiders, I think, spiders or ants. So, like that, we have to keep trying and trying and trying without any kind of disappointment, because we will fail. We will fail several times before we finally succeed, because manas is something that is not easy to control. It is not our failure. We only need
కానీ
that
ఇవన్నీ
sadhana.
ఎక్కువ ఇవన్నీ కలియుగ లక్షణాల్లో ఎక్కువ ఉన్నాయి అనుకుంటా.
Hmm?
ఇవి అన్ని కలియుగ లక్షణాల్లో ఎక్కువ ఉన్నాయి అనుకుంటా. అంటే నాకు డౌట్ ఏంటంటే, ఇప్పుడు ప్రతి యుగంలో అప్పుడు అందరూ దేవతల దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళొస్తుండేవారు, స్వర్గలోకం వెళ్ళొస్తుండేవారు. 60,000 సంవత్సరాల దాకా దశరథుడి లైఫ్ ఉంది చూడండి. వాళ్ళకి బోల్డ్ అంత లైఫ్ స్పాన్ ఉంది. జీవితంలో అనుభవించాల్సినవన్నీ అనుభవించి మైండ్ ఒక మెచ్యూరిటీ టైంకి వచ్చేంత వరకు వాళ్ళు జీవించి ఉండడం మూలంగా అందరూ వానప్రస్థం తీసుకుని అందరూ మోక్ష సాధన చేసి అలా ఉంటే యుగ ధర్మాన్ని బట్టి రాను రాను ఆయుష్ తగ్గిపోతూ కొంచెం ప్రాక్టీస్ ఇప్పుడు కలియుగంలో ఉందనుకోండి, 100 సంవత్సరాలు ఎవరు బతకరు, 80 సంవత్సరాలు బతుకుతారు. ఒక 60-65 సంవత్సరాలు అయితేనే కానీ వాళ్ళకి అసలు మైండ్ మెచ్యూరిటీనే రాదు ఒక రకంగా. ఆ మెచ్యూరిటీ వచ్చి ఏమన్నా చేసుకుందాం అనే వరకు, కొంచెం సాధన చేసుకునే వరకు వాళ్ళ లైఫ్ అయిపోతుంది.
కరెక్ట్.
అలా సైక్లింగ్ ఎక్కువ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది అనమాట.
మీరు చాలా కరెక్ట్ పాయింట్ చెప్పారు, విచ్ ఇస్ వెరీ ట్రూ. బ్యాక్ ఇన్ దోస్ డేస్ పీపుల్ యూస్ టు లివ్ ఫర్ సో మెనీ ఇయర్స్, సో దే హ్యాడ్ ద టైమ్. But within the time that we have also, how much effort are we able to put? That also we have to question. That is true. We cannot help it. Back in those days, people ate the right food, the environment was correct, mind purity was there. So all these factors helped them live a longer life. So they had so much of time to do this abhyasa, get the maturity and do the abhyasa in the vanaprastha ashramam, and they are able to reach. But
అంటే
now,
అవకాశం ఇప్పుడు అన్ని అనుభవించేసిన తర్వాత ఇంకా పెద్ద అనుభవించాలన్న కోరిక కూడా ఎవరికి ఉండదు ఒక రకంగా. ఇప్పుడు
that is what you are saying.
పద్ధతి అంటారు, లేకపోతేనేమో ఇదివరకు సినిమాలు చూసిన వాళ్ళందరూ ఇప్పుడు సినిమాలు చూసే వాళ్ళని తిడుతూ ఉంటారు.
But within the time that we have, within the resources that we have to do our best. That is what we should think. That's all. Within the time that we have and within the resources that we have. Here, people are more worried about what the other person thinks. So, see, even if somebody wants to practice detachment, the society will not let them practice detachment, right? So once a person reaches a certain stage in their life and age, they should let the kids live their own life. Okay, you should leave it to them. They should learn how to take care of their kids, how to make decisions in their life and everything. How many of us are really doing that? Aren't we poking our fingers all the time? No, you do this, you take up that job, you work for that promotion. What? People are telling their kids who are already like 30 years or 40 years or 50 years. They are even trying to involve in the decisions regarding their children also, their grandkids. Why is that needed? It is not needed. But why are they poking their heads? You should let their children. So you have to use that energy and time in working on your spiritual path rather than involving in your children's life. They are now old enough. You have to let them make mistakes. You have to let them make their own decisions. But many people are not doing that. They will go and raise the grandkids. Why? The couple, whoever have the kids,
మనకిష్టమైనట్టు చేయించాలనే థింకింగ్ పెరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది.
Sometimes I have even seen some people, they really want to work on their spiritual journey, but they go and do service to their kids only because they feel the pressure of the society. That also I have noticed with some parents. How can you not go when your daughter has a grandchild? You are having a grandchild, and how come you are not going and helping her? Such things are happening still. They are perfectly
ఇంకా
capable.
అక్కడ గుర్తించింది ఏంటంటే మధ్యలో ఒక జనరేషన్ అడ్డం కూడా ఉంది. అంటే అదే గ్రాండ్ డాటర్స్ దగ్గరికి వచ్చేసరికి ఒక జనరేషన్ అడ్డం ఉండేసరికి ఆ తరానికి మిగిలిన తరానికి గ్యాప్ చాలా ఉంటుంది ఆచార వ్యవహారాల్లో. అది చెప్పినా కానీ ఎవరికి
అర్థం అవ్వదు. But it's okay. Even if they don't understand, we have to be confident of what we are doing. That is what I'm saying. See, actually, in our scriptures, how it is given is, once you get your children married and they have a grandchild, and after that grandchild reaches 1 year or something, that's it. Your responsibility is done. Your responsibility is done. You don't have to continue to serve them. You can work on your spiritual path. You can still work on your spiritual path. You can use that time and energy to work on your spiritual path. They have to learn to take care of their children. So that was the rule once upon a time. So when Dasharatha and all, when they left to the Vanam, to the forest for Vanaprastha Ashramam, you can see. So when the son, that Pattabhishekam, Yuvaraja Pattabhishekam happens, they will marry them off. They will have some kids and all. And once they feel that they are ready to take over, these people will leave. They will completely leave. Why are they leaving? Because if they are there, they will be pulled. This manas is such that if you are in that environment, you will be pulled back. So the best way to practice controlling the manas is taking it away. Like I said, if you don't want to eat sweets, don't bring sweets home. Don't cook the sweet. If you cook or bring it from somewhere, you are bound to eat sooner or later. But if you don't want to eat, don't even bring it. Like that, if you don't want to be pulled into this samsara, once your responsibilities are done, we have to. That is the reason why Vanaprastha Ashrama is there. Back in those days, even with all the sadhana that they did, Dasharatha Maharaja and all other such kings are all Raghuvamsha kings are not like ordinary people. They have done so much of sadhana throughout their lives, and even to be born into Raghuvamsha, so many janmas, they must have done so much of good in their previous lives, right? But even they went into the Vanam. Why? They could have as well stayed in the palace in one room somewhere and practice, right? Do their sadhana. No, they chose to go there. Why? Because only that environment also helps them focus on what they want to. That distancing should be there. Distancing should be there for any kind of control. Not only this. You cannot switch on the TV, keep watching TV, and in the next room you cannot ask your child to sit and study when the TV is going on here. You have to switch off the TV. You have to create that environment in the house where the child can focus on his studies, right?
అవకాశం కల్పించాలి.
The parents, what do they do? Oh my God, I stopped. Somebody told me this. All my student life, I could not watch TV because for my studies, my parents did not let me watch TV. And now for my children's studies also, I should not watch TV. When am I going to watch TV? So I am going to watch TV. They have to study no matter what. But how will the child, if we at our age are not able to control our temptation to do certain,
కంట్రోల్ చేసుకోలేకపోతే వాళ్ళు అసలు కంట్రోల్ చేసుకోలేరు.
they cannot. That environment is not there. So how are they going to focus unless they are really, very focused children? Most of the children cannot focus. So you have to create that environment in the house so that the boy can sit and study or do whatever it is they are supposed to do. That environment is definitely very important. If there is so much chaos in the house, can you sit and do dhyanam? You cannot, unless you are a yogi who has so much of sadhana. No matter where you put him, he can do. But we are all ordinary people. We are not yet at that stage. To reach that stage, we need to practice. So to bring, that is why there are so many shlokas on about how to perform that dhyanam. right?
Mm.
What kind of
Mm.
place, how the platform should be, what you should put there. You have to sit in a position where your body is really comfortable, because if it is not comfortable, you will feel the pain, you will start moving. If you are starting to move, then your focus is gone, mind cannot focus. So many ways it has been explained, even about the posture, the environment, and everything. So we have to accept the fact that manas is not easy to control. To control it, first we have to set up the environment, whatever it is, either to study or do something or do something. So the spiritual path is not easy to attain. For that also, we need a proper environment. If you are going to in the middle of a house where some people are watching TV and kids are playing around and somebody else is doing something, how are you going to focus on your spiritual path? You cannot. You cannot expect to. So we have to distance ourselves away from all that, and we should be able to focus on our thing. But of course, now other problems are coming because our health issues are there. Back in those days, even when people are 200, 300 years old, they never had any health issues, right? Because of the kind of environment and the kind of food and the kind of yoga abhyasam that they did, they kept their bodies in a very good condition. That is why they were able to do. That is why even for us, they keep telling we have to take care of our body. Why? Because we need it to perform this abhyasa for the spiritual path. But nobody is
చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి మనం చేసుకుంటూ పిల్లలకు కూడా నేర్పితే అది చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి వాళ్ళకు కూడా ఒక రొటీన్ లో అలవాటు అయిపోతుంది.
But how to take care of this body, we ourselves don't know. We ourselves don't know many things. We are learning now at this point. You know, when to eat, what times to eat, how to refrain, how to give gap between meals, all this we are learning now. That knowledge has not been passed completely through the generations. So we lost. That is why people are not able to live like before. So for such long period. So these days we cannot do Vanaprastha ashrama. Why? Because of the sickness. People are unable to live on their own. They need help. More than that, living alone, putting aside that, the Sharira is not supporting the kind of focus that is needed for the Dhyanam. Right? Mokal nopulosnai, body pains, knee pains, this pain, that pain, where is the time to focus? So everything has changed. So where should we start? First, we should start with taking care of our own bodies, because a healthy body leads to a healthy mind. And once the mind is healthy, then we will be able to focus on what needs to be done. Once we have that healthy body and mind, we should use that energy on progressing in our spiritual path rather than using it on, which is not our duty, on things that are not our duty anymore. As long as you, because as much as you are needed to work or take care of your responsibilities, once you are done taking care of your responsibilities, it is equally important for us to work on our spiritual path. But many people feel guilty also to follow the spiritual path. If they do not continue to help their children, even in their 60s or 70s, they think they are doing something wrong. They think that they are being selfish by only trying to follow their spiritual path. That we have to come out of. Nobody will understand. There will always be somebody who will say something. But we have to build up that strength, because we know in our mind, I have done all my responsibilities towards my children. Now the definition of responsibility is changing. Now not only your children, your grandchildren, and if you still have energy, their children also, people expect you to take care. But that is not it. People cannot change that definition. We should know, to this extent, it is my responsibility. After that, it is their responsibility. I have to, focus on my spiritual journey. That's all. That we have to understand, our kids have to understand, because they are the ones that should again support, whatever we are supposed to do, right? So this all this kind of support system should be there. But at least within our family, if we have that understanding, we don't have to worry about what others say. But that if nobody knows, somebody has to muster up the courage to explain it to others. Because if everybody thinks, what will they think? What will these people think? They might think I'm being selfish. And some people really believe that they are being selfish by thinking like that. We have to come out of that thinking. Otherwise, this cycle will never break. And if we don't do it, our children also will not do it. So that will continue. So we have to let our children also know that this is the thing. This is how we should do. But it is very difficult. It is not as easy as we are discussing it right here, because we have to know our culture and the importance of spiritual path. At least we know. But this generation, they don't even realize the importance of spiritual path. They are all charuvaks. Like Charvaka Siddhantam is there. Means only one life, you enjoy it. Don't worry about next life. Who knows if there is a next life or not? Who knows if you are going to be reborn or not? We are not going to see. We don't know what we were in the past life. We don't know what we are going to be in the next life. Thinking about those two, why do you want to waste this life? So you just simply enjoy. That is the theory that is going on right now in with many people. So it will be difficult because they are being influenced by other theories also, right? Because this globalization is there, this culture, digital media is there. So what is happening with people on the other side of the planet is everybody is able to see. So when they are doing that, why cannot I do that? So that came, and this knowledge transfer is also not happening. So without this happening, and with the influence of so many other cultures, everybody is confused. Everybody is confused. So it is going to be very difficult. That we have to accept. But just because it is going to be difficult, we should not stop. At least we should practice. Because
అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఇంతమంది భగవద్గీత చదువుతున్నారు కదా, భగవద్గీత ఇంతమంది భగవద్గీత చదువుతున్నారు కదా,
చదువుతున్న how many of them actually taking time to understand the shlokas?
చదువుతున్న వాళ్ళైనా కొంచెం చదువుతున్న వాళ్ళైనా కొంత టైము మెడిటేషన్ కైనా దేనికైనా వాటికి ఖర్చు పెట్టి స్పిరిచువల్ గా ప్రాక్టీస్
people are trying, especially meditation. When it comes to meditation, I see many people doing dhyanam. They say that they are doing meditation dhyanam, but whether they are doing it in the right way or not, we don't know. How much are they able to focus? And it is not only that few minutes, they have to carry it on through the rest of the day is also equally important. See, dhyanam means not simply sitting for 1 hour, doing some chanting. That is not it. Throughout the day also, your mind should be able to focus only on what is needed.
అంటే చేస్తూ దానికి తగ్గట్టుగా మలుచుకోవాలి.
If you are cooking, say for example, your focus should be only on the cooking. If you are studying Bhagavad Gita Parayana, it should be only, whether it is 10 minutes or 1 hour, whatever it is, only focus on that. Only focus on things that are important. Other things, we should let go, because that is what is being told in the shlokas. At least 1% of that we should try to put it into practice. We will definitely not be able to put everything into practice, but whatever little we should, that prayatna should be there. Simply sitting for 1 hour and saying we have done our dhyanam, and rest of the day if you are simply doing things that are not very nice, what is the point? That realization also should be there. But many people, what they feel is, they simply watch the pravachanas, they enjoy the pravachanas, they very much will listen to the pravachanas very focusedly, but they will think that is all only to listen to. It is nice to listen.
కానీ అలా వింటూ ఉంటే ఎంతసేపు వినే పొజిషన్ లోనే ఉంటాం. ఎప్పుడు మనం విన్నది అర్థం చేసుకుని మనం అంత టైం దాని మీద పెట్టడం కంటే,
they think that it is only for some yogis, not for us. That is also there, because I have seen many people listening with so much of shraddha, but later on when it comes to vyavahara, they are not able to control their anger or something else with in day-to-day life. So when I ask, See, you have listened to this shloka yesterday. In that, what is being told. So why don't you at least try to practice? Being able to overcome completely is impossible, I know, but at least you should put in that effort. I don't see that you are trying to put in the effort. So the answer that I got was, oh no, what are you saying? That is all for yogis and rishis, not for us. We are only humans. Because we like, they explain it very well and it is nice to listen. So we are listening. It doesn't mean we have to practice because we are only humans. That is what I got the answer. So that is when I understood that this kind of thinking is also there. So Bhagavad Gita is only for some people who are rishis, not for us. We cannot implement it. That
మాకు
also we have to.
చిన్నప్పుడు ఎప్పుడో మా పిల్లలకి 5 సంవత్సరాలు 6 సంవత్సరాలు ఉన్నప్పుడు నేను చదువుతూ భగవద్గీత చదివి వినిపించేదాన్ని. అప్పట్లో 10 అధ్యాయాలు ఎంతో చదివాను నేను. అది చదువుతూ ఉంటే మా అత్తగారు వాళ్ళు వచ్చి చూసి అన్నారన్నమాట, నీకు భగవద్గీత చదివితే అంత జ్ఞానం వచ్చేస్తుంది ఏంటని చెప్పేసి అన్నారు. ఎవరికి వస్తుంది అది? పెద్దవాళ్ళు చదవాల్సింది, మీలాంటి వాళ్ళు చదవాల్సింది కాదు అని. అంటే మా వీధిలో ఎప్పుడు రోజుకు సగం వెళ్తూ ఉండేది. మా పిల్లలు కూడా గబగబా పరిగెట్టేసుకెళ్ళిపోయి చూసేస్తూ ఉండేవారు అనమాట. తలుపులు వేసేస్తే కిటికీలు ఎక్కేసి చూసేసేవారు వాళ్ళు. చూసేస్తే నేను చెప్పాను అన్నమాట, రోజు వీధిలో శవం వెళ్తుంది కదా, ఒక్కసారి ఆ శవం వెళ్ళేటప్పుడు మన మైండ్ ఏ స్టేజ్ లో ఉంటుందో ఆలోచిస్తే భగవద్గీత చదివితే ఏమవుతుందో అర్థమవుతుంది అన్నాను అనమాట నేను. ఎందుకంటే అవి చూస్తున్నప్పుడైనా కానీ మనకి కొంచెం వేరే ఇది ఉంటుంది కదా.
And reality will kick in when you are seeing some person who died, being taken away. At least that time also reality kicks in. That also will kick in only for some people. Many times, 90% of the people, what do they think? Oh, something bad will only happen to others. Ippudu tsunami vastundi. We always think tsunami happens somewhere else. It will never happen to the region where we are. Similarly, floods, similarly, earthquakes, right? We always think because we are in that safe zone where such things never happen, we cannot even imagine the plight of the people who are in that position. That is always like somebody else. That is the reason why Bhagavad Gita insists that you have to see Paramatma in everyone. Means the opposite person's difficulty is our difficulty. What if I am in that position? So at least whether we are able to help that person who is somewhere else, whether we are able to help or not is a different thing. Within our capacity, are we able to help or not? We don't know. But at least we have to develop a heart and mind to feel for that. So then we will not take life so granted. When you realize there are so many people out there starving every day, how can you comment on curry which has a little bit of less salt? Only when you think of people who are sleeping with an empty stomach, only when you think of them and you are grateful that you are not one of them, only then whatever is offered you will eat. Even if one morsel of salt is less, people will comment, hey, there is no salt in today's cooking. What kind of cooking is? If you realize, if you remember the other people who are starving on earth all over the world, not even all over the world, in the city that you are there also, there will be so many people who are starving. If we think about them at least for 1 minute, we will not try to comment what is offered to us. We will happily eat it like prasadam, right? So that is the reason why we should be able to see everything equally. Only then we will realize that gratitude bhavana will develop. Only when we have that gratitude bhavana, we will not take things for granted. We will develop that detachment, and that phalapeksha also will not be there. The phalapeksha will not be there if we have that gratitude. With whatever you have, we are already so happy. And I am fortunate to have this today. If we develop that kind of thinking, then we will not be expecting more, right? Because I am already happy that with what I have. Today, I am in a position, I don't have to think about whether I will get food tomorrow or not, whether I will have shelter tomorrow or not. I don't have to, I'm in a position where I don't have to worry about such things. How lucky am I? There are people who don't know if they are going to get food for the next meal. They don't know. They really don't know. They don't know if they will be able to stay in some house because they are so much in debts. They don't know when the bank will come and take away their house and what am I going to do? There are so many people who are in that position. Luckily, I am there where I don't have to worry about that. If I develop that thinking, will I worry about what items I am able to eat or what kind of house I am living in? Should I worry about such things? I will. I am already feeling happy that I have a house and I don't have to worry about that. If I am happy, then I won't complain about the house that I am living in. Right? Then that phalapeksha is gone. So that is the reason why, see, all these are interconnected. Once you start developing one, automatically the other things will happen. Once we start developing phalapeksha with not having phalapeksha, then that gratitude will be there. Then, that detachment, it will be easy to practice the detachment. Why? Because we are not expecting anything. We are not expecting anything from anybody. Within what we have, we should be prepared. Okay, I cannot expect. If you want to do something to somebody, do only with your whatever strength or capability you have. Nobody is forcing and you don't have to force yourself also. But if we do, today I have this energy, I would like to do this help to this person. That's all, and forget about it. Oh, I did help. So tomorrow, hopefully, she will also help me. That kind of thinking should not be there. Because the minute we have that kind of thinking, tomorrow that other person may not be may not be in a position to help us physically or financially. Maybe she herself is in some difficulty. She cannot help us. If we have this palapeksha from her, we will be disappointed. So that kind of thinking we should develop. Even with our kids, we have to prepare. We have to prepare them that if they want to take up the responsibility of having children, they should prepare themselves to be able to take care of that child that they are planning to have. They cannot simply have children without any planning. Because back in those days is a different story. Now it has become even more difficult. We are only going to put them into a world which is already so chaotic and confusing. Starting from the food that they are going to eat from when they are a baby, everything is polluted. So what is the point, right? So unless we are able to pass on these values and how to take care of themselves and how to eat right among all these commercials about the junk food, being able to teach them the right thing to make the right choices. Because if we are unable to teach that, then we have failed as a parent and their health will be spoiled even before.
వాళ్ళు చేయలేక 10 రూపాయలు ఇచ్చేసి కొనుక్కుతానమని చెప్తారు.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. If you are unable to do something, then why even to get into a position where you are unable to do that? So like that,
కష్టపడి చేసుకోవాలంటే.
So even that thinking also should change. Back in those days, about I don't know much about that part, but what I feel, we have to take up a responsibility only if at least we are sure that we can take care of that, complete that responsibility, like taking a task. So we have to think in that, and whatever we have to try our level best to perform that task at least.
చేసుకోవాలంతే, సొంతంగా చేసుకోవాలి.
Yeah. So there are so many resources, but these days it is very difficult. No matter how many resources are there, of course, there are people who are still following the right path, teaching the right things, learning the right things, but very less people, and they are also facing a lot of challenges because 90% of the world is the other way. So for this 10% of the world also, it is difficult. They face constant challenges. So unless you are very confident and strong minded, you cannot follow. Like you said, your mother-in-law asked you to not do it, but as a young daughter-in-law, we may not have the strength to go against the mother-in-law, right?
Oh.
And but that is what I'm saying. Though we ourselves are trying to do the right thing, there will be so many. In your case, maybe it is mother-in-law. In other cases, it can be even mothers or sisters also. I'm not trying to again bring that mother-in-law, daughter-in-law thing, but anybody can be anybody who can resist, show that resistance. So we have to be strong in what we believe. That should be there. That we should develop. Sadly, that has not been passed on. That is the reason why we are struggling so much to pass it on to our kids. Because
ఒకటి ఏంటంటే మనకి డిస్టర్బెన్స్ వచ్చే తోట మనం పైకి ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చెయ్యక్కర్లేదు, మనం గుర్తించి మనం చేసుకోగలిగితే చాలు.
బట్ సాధ్యమైన కొంచెం forward. See, now that we are studying the Bhagavad Gita shlokas, if the children ask, why should we do this or why should we not do this, we should develop that thinking of answering their questions, because again it is our responsibility to pass on this to the next generation. At least we have to try. We have to go and search for answers. See, once upon a time, when we never asked our parents. In our generation, whatever our parents asked us to do, we did. We never asked a question. We did not even think of asking a question. But with our kids, it is not like that. From day one, they ask questions. Why should I do that? Why should I sleep early? Why should I wake up early? Why should I not go out in the dark? Why should I not do this? Why should I do this? So many times we don't have answers. Why? Because we simply did what our parents asked. We never asked them. And they also never told us many times the reason. They simply told, do this, do that. We did this, did that. We don't know. So that knowledge transfer did not happen. Now suddenly the children are asking, we don't have the answers many times. So it is our responsibility to dig up the answers, to ask somebody, elderly people, more knowledgeable people, and pass it on. Because our children also, as much as they seem to not follow our culture, if you explain it to them logically in their own terminology, they are ready to embrace our culture. They are very much ready to.
కానీ తర్వాత ఆలోచించి చెప్పేట్టుగానైనా కానీ ఉండాలి, ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసి.
They may not completely understand, but when they also are maturing, they will remember all these. It will come back. Like how sometimes we suddenly remember what our grandmother said. Oh yeah, that is what my grandmother was trying to tell me. Oh, now I understand. Such things happen, right? So we should not stop trying to pass on whatever we know into the next generation. And we should put in an effort to explain it to them. First, we have to learn, the reason, and then we have to continue. And even if we don't know, suddenly they might ask something for which we may not have an answer. We should tell, I really don't know because I was never taught. But I would like to find the answer and pass it on to you. That also they will appreciate. Many times what happens is when children ask, parents will tell, no, you should not ask like that. You should simply do what we tell you. That is not a good approach. Because they will not be convinced. Today's kids are so smart, they will not like that answer. So we should never tell, don't ask questions. You simply do what I'm telling. That won't work with them. We should accept the fact that I was not told. I simply followed my elders. So I never thought of asking them. So I really don't know. I trusted them completely. So I simply did what they asked me to do. So I really don't know. But since you are asking, I will find out and let you know, because I think that will be helpful to me also. And then we have to really find out and go back to them and tell them. But what I noticed is that will work very, very well with today's kids. As long as we are able to explain to them the benefits of doing certain things, they will like it. They will be more willing to follow it. Not like it. They will be more willing to follow it. And we have to make it a little easy. We should mari chadastanga vellakodu. We should not be restrictive. That is another feedback I received from somebody else. The question is, the Christians go to church every Sunday without fail. Okay, Muslims practice or do their prayers 5 times a day, wherever they are. And they go to their mosque, on a regular basis. How many of the Hindus are going to the temple on a regular basis, other than the festivals or this and that? And I'm talking about everybody in the family. The Christians, the whole family will go on Sunday. Similarly, Muslims also, the whole family will do that prayer or whatever it is. In our Hinduism, in how many families, the whole family is practicing it. It is the grandmother or the grandfather or the parents or somebody. Others are let, oh, it's okay, he's a small child, it's okay. That it's okay will become a big problem tomorrow. Because that habit is also equally important. The early on the habit we make them do, it will stay forever. If you notice people, their eating habits, no matter how many new types of foods and recipes come, they will enjoy that, but they always go back to what they ate as a child. That you cannot break it. With most of the people, that you cannot break. So when I start noticing, why did, say for example, my father, he has this habit of eating that snacks, whereas my mother doesn't have that habit at all. She says no, but he will eat and he will miss if the snack is not there. So then I started thinking, why? Because they both have been living together for so long. Why this difference? It all went back to my grandmother used to make snacks to my father as when he was a child. So that habit did not break even today. Whereas for my mother, that was not the case. She did not eat snacks. She ate more fruits. So that snacks really won't tempt her. Similarly, my husband, he has this habit of eating pickles. No matter how many items you cook, he will still ask for the pickle. So then again, when I thought, as a child, every single day they used to eat pickle in their house. So no matter how much we try to break that habit, it is not breaking. So similarly, this our cultural habits also, the early on we start. They will definitely not break. Maybe they will give a break when they are busy in college and, with their education, especially today, because people are going to different places to study and all, where it is difficult for them to practice. But they will always come back. They will always, once they settle again in their life, they enter into their 30s, then they will again, all this will come back to them. That we have to trust. We have to trust how much a habit can do. And the value of our culture. We have to have trust in that, because it will definitely bring it back. So that is what I'm saying. So we should not stop doing our thing. We have to try to do. It may appear that it is not working, nobody cares and they don't understand and all that. But in the back of their mind, that seed is being sown. It will take time to sprout and grow, but it will grow. It will grow. Whether it will grow when they are in their 20s or 30s or 40s, I don't know. But it will grow. So in that we should have our belief and we should not give up. We should continue. We should try and continue to tell. But while doing that, while telling them, we should not be so hard on them. We should make it easy for them. That is where I went back to that. So other people going to their things, like the Christians going to the church or all this. Why? Because they make it fun there. They make it easy. Or how do I put it? There are so many restrictions there. There are not so many restrictions there. No matter what time they go, they go. However they go, they go. I'm not saying we should be so relaxing. But what I'm saying is, in certain things, we should also try to make it a little easy for them. Like the timings, say for example. So in our culture or in our thing, maybe waking up at 3 or 4 and taking a bath. But how many children will actually do? So rather than completely giving it up, let us relax that time. It is okay even if you take the bath at 6 o'clock. So that itself will motivate them, or whatever the habit of that child is. Okay, you want to do it at 7 o'clock? Okay, do it at 7 o'clock. So maybe they will be willing to do at least rather than totally giving it up. So slowly as they are progressing, we can always tell the importance of taking that bath a little early before sunrise. All that slowly, logically, scientifically, if we start explaining, eventually they will understand and try to implement it. Maybe not immediately, at some point in their life. So that kind of relaxation should be there. Otherwise, with very young kids, in this generation, it will be very difficult to make them practice. Rather than totally giving up, what I'm saying is, rather than totally giving up, at least if we relax some of the rules, then maybe they will be willing to look into it. And slowly again, once they come, then we can add little by little and explain the significance of certain things and go on from there. Otherwise, it won't work. If we put very hard rules, nothing will work.
కొంచెం కొంచెం తెలియకుండా వాళ్ళకి శ్రమ లేకుండా నేర్పుతుందా?
Yes, yes. Say for example, on a festival, we perform our puja. Only after all the puja is done, we should eat. That is the general, right? In my house, it won't work. Not only with kids. Even my husband cannot wait until I finish the puja. He gets hungry. He needs to have. So what I do, I prepare. I take aside for the prasadam, and I will let them eat. Then they will happily come and sit in the puja. If I starve them, if I don't give them anything and say everything is only after the puja, nobody will be there sitting with a smiley face. They cannot focus. So what is the point? I tried that once or twice. It was not working. So I thought at least if they eat, they will focus. So I just put aside some and let them eat. And then happily they will come and sit and participate. So such kind of things I'm telling. So, and even God also has not asked us to starve ourselves and to pain this body to do something. That with Buddha we have known. Even the Buddha,
మానేసేదానికంటే తినేసి చేసుకున్నా కానీ మంచిదే కదా.
So, but then we have to tell that, see, since you are unable to focus, we have to eat. But eat still. It should not be too much that we are not able to focus again. Eat moderately until the puja is over. And once the puja is over, you can again eat if needed. So it should, that balance also should be there. We should not eat so much that, while doing the puja, again, the focus should not be gone. So we should still explain what is important. But since the body also needs to support, we have to take care of the body also. Such things will be there. Even after a certain age, most of us cannot perform things without eating, right? With the age, have some health issues and all. So how are we going to do? Rather than totally skipping, eat something and then do. These days, we have to give in sometimes. Otherwise, totally we are unable to do anything. So like that, we have to make some compromises, which is still okay. Because what does Bhagavad Gita tell us? It is not telling us to blindly go and force ourselves. Don't force the body or the mind. Go as per the strength of the body and the mind. It will take time, but that is fine. If you are able to do only for 10 minutes dhyanam, do 10 minutes dhyanam only. But try to do that 10 minutes properly. Similarly, everything, we have to apply that everywhere. As long as we are making progress in the right way, it is okay. However we do, it is okay. So the focus should be on that. More is how much bhakti you are doing. That is more important. But we should not take advantage of that. I have bhakti, so let me just eat everything and still claim that I have bhakti. No, that is not how it is. How much ever your body needs, that much you have to give in. Just because, we say I have bhakti, you cannot simply prioritize food and then later on do something else. So there is a balance, and that self-check should be there. But what I'm saying is, with the children also, we have to be very logically, we have to explain it to them, a little bit of relaxation, and then they will be able to, then they will be willing to practice. That I have noticed. We relax the rules a little bit, they will be more willing to practice. So that is more important for them to at least do something is more important. And once they enter, we have that confidence in our culture, right? We have the confidence in our culture. We have the confidence in our teachings that once somebody is open to listen and learn, then they cannot leave it. They cannot get out of it because it is so good. It will make you feel.
వాళ్ళే వాళ్ళకి వీలుగా ఉన్నట్టుగా వాళ్ళు మేనేజ్ చేసుకుంటారు.
That is what I mean. We just have to have the patience until they enter into this path. Once they enter, nobody can leave. So until then, we have to show some patience and make some relaxations. And then once they are used to this kind of thinking, once they enjoy the benefits of practicing this path, then automatically they will want to come. Of course, other factors also will be there, but at least they will be willing to come. So that is how it is. Anyways, so here in this shloka, so Shukla Krishne Gati, which one are we? Dhumo Ratrihi Tatha Krishnaha Shanmasa Dakshinayanam Tatra Chandramasam Jyotihi Yogi Prapya Nivartate. So here all these are considered. Again, all these are devatas only. But even within these devatas, all these are, how do you say, path of darkness. This is all the path of darkness. Dhumaha. You know, when the smoke is there, you cannot see anything. Ratrihi. So it is night. Similarly, Krishnaha means the Krishna Pakshaha. And then Shanmasaha, Dakshinayanam, the second half of the Ayanam, path of the sun. And then Chandramasam, Jyotihi. So earlier it was the light of the sun. Here it is the light of the moon. So here, whatever little benefit that the Jivatma obtains, it is not permanent. They have to come back. They have to come back. And for whom does this happen? Who will enter this Pitru Lokas? Is those who have, they do Satkarma Charana, but with Phalapeksha, with attachment. Okay? So such people will definitely come back. So the only way to break this is by not having attachment and without having Phalapeksha. We have to do without having Phalapeksha. As long as those two are continuing, we cannot enter the Jnana Marga. We cannot enter the Devalokas. So we will be coming back. So here, what is the Kriya Padam?
నివర్తతే.
Nivartate. Kaha nivartate? Yogi.
యోగి జ్యోతిర్మార్గే నివర్తతే.
Nivartate. Prapya. Kim prapya? Chandramasam Jyotihi prapya. Yogi nivartate. Okay. After obtaining the Pitru Lokas, he will still come back. Okay. Here the other part of the shloka is the list of all the devatas that help us obtain the Pitru Lokas. Who are those devatas? Dakshinayanam, Shanmasaha, Krishnaha, Ratrihi, Dhumaha. Okay. Okay. Anantaram, next shloka.
శ్రీవాణి గారు అంటే పునర్జన్మ అంటారండి?
అవును, పునర్జన్మి. చదువుతారా జయప్రద్ గారు?
చదువుతానండి.
26th శ్లోక.
శుక్ల కృష్ణే గతి హేతే జగతః శాశ్వతే మతే ఏకయా యాత్య నావృత్తి మన్యయా వర్తతే పునః. ఏతే హి పదార్థః ఏతే హి ఇమే శుక్లకృష్ణే శుక్లా కృష్ణా చేతి గతి మార్గో జగతః ప్రపంచస్య शाश्वते नित्यौ मते अभीष्टौ एकया एकेन मार्गेण अनावृत्तिम् अनागमनं याति गच्छति अन्यया अपरेण मार्गेण पुनः भूयः आवर्तते आवृत्तिं प्राप्नोति अन्वयः एते हि शुक्लकृष्णे गति जगतः शाश्वते मते एकया अनावृत्तिं याति अन्यया पुनः आवर्तते तात्पर्यम् शुक्लः कृष्णः चेति द्वौ मार्गौ स्तः तत्र शुक्लमार्गेण ये गच्छन्ति ते न पुनरायान्ति कृष्णमार्गेण पुनः ये गच्छन्ति ते चन्द्रलोकं प्राप्य पुनरायान्ति व्याकरणं सन्धिः ह्येते हि प्लस एते यणसन्धि यात्यनावृत्तिं याति प्लस अनावृत्तिं यणसन्धिः अन्यया वर्तते अन्यया प्लस आवर्तते सवर्णदीर्घसन्धि समासः शुक्लकृष्णे शुक्ला च कृष्णा च द्वन्द्वः अनावृत्तिं न आवृत्तिं वृत्तिः आवृत्तिः न आवृत्तिः तां नं तत्पुरुषः
So ikkada Shukla Krishne is Shukla Krishne. Here this is Dvivachanam. So Napumsakalinga Prathama Vibhakti Dvivachanam. Okay, it is in Dvandva Samasa, Shukla and Krishna, but it is in Dvivachana also. Okay. Gati. Again, Strilinga, Prathama Vibhakti, Dvivachana.
अत्र शुक्लकृष्णे अपि स्त्रीलिङ्गं खलु?
Yes. Shukla Krishne actually Napumsakalingam only.
Napumsaka?
Krishna, right? Then in Napumsaka also the Dvivachana will get like a Krishna.
Napumsaka.
Gati. Gati again is in Strilinga. Dvivachana. He is Avyaya. And then Ete. Again, Ete is Napumsakalinga, Dvivachana. And Jagataha. The Shukavachana.
Napumsakalinga.
Shashvate. Dvivachana. Mate also is again Napumsakalinga Dvivachana. Ekaya. Strilinga. Trutiya Vibhakti Ekavachana. Yati. Latlakara Prathama Purusha Ekavachana. Anavrittim. Strilinga Dvitiya Vibhakti Ekavachana. Anyaya. Trutiya Vibhakti Ekavachana Strilinga. Avartate. Latlakara Prathama Purusha Ekavachana. And Punaha is Avyayam. So here what is the Kriya Padam? Yati. Yati and Mate. We have two.
Excuse me, madam, please. Mate, Prathama Vibhakti Dvivachanam va? Mate?
Yes.
Prathama.
Yes.
Oh. Thank you.
1 second. So here Shukla Krishne Gati. There are two paths. One is Shukla and one is Krishna. So Shukla Krishne Gati Ete Jagataha Shashvate mate. Okay, in this world, these two are the paths that exist. That is what is being taught. Ekaya yati, when one goes by one of these paths, ekaya, with one path, by one path, he who goes by one path, anavrittim, he will not return. What is that path by which when one goes, he will not return? Shukla. Okay. Anyaya avartate. Punaha avartate. By the second path, if he goes, he will come back. What is that second path? Krishna. So here two paths are there, two gatis are there. What are those two gatis? Shukla and Krishna. He who goes by the Shukla will not return. Ekaya yati anavrittim, anyaya avartate punaha. But when he goes with the second path, he will come back. Okay, so this is the meaning of this shloka. So mate means is thought of. Shashvate mate. Okay, jagataha ete gati, ete jagataha gati, shashvate mate. These two paths are to be, are the eternal, like shashvate. These are the only two paths that exist, is what is thought of. So anybody who, any jivatma that exists, when the time comes to go, that jivatma has to go with one of these two paths only. One is the Krishna, the other one is the Shukla. He who goes by the Shukla will not return. There is a very good chance for him to not return. If he does not continue his abhyasa, again he will return, but very good chance that he will not return. And the jivatma with which goes in the Krishna gati will definitely return. Okay. Anantaram, the next shloka. Sri Lakshmi Bhagini patitum ichchati va?
आं भगिनि नैते श्रुति पार्थ जानन् योगी मुह्यति कश्चन तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु योगयुक्तो भवार्जुन एते जानन् योगी न एते श्रुति पार्थ जानन् योगी मुह्यति कश्चन तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु योगयुक्तः भव अर्जुन.
Yes.
पार्था संबोधना प्रथमा. एते दकारान्तः एतत् शब्दः प्रथमा बहुवचनं. श्रुति इति न जानामि भगिनि. जानन् शत्रुप्रत्ययं प्रथमा एकवचनं. कश्चन अव्ययं.
Kashchana, you can take it as Pumlinga Prathama Ekavachana. The chana.
Shatru rupam va?
No. The Kim Shabdasya chana pratyaya.
Okay. Astu. Kaha chana. Astu. Yogi prathama ekavachanam. Nakarantah. Muhyati muhdatoho. लट्लकारः प्रथमपुरुष एकवचनं. परस्मैपदी. तस्मात् तद् शब्दं दकारान्तः तद् शब्दं पञ्चमी एकवचनं. अर्जुन संबोधन प्रथम एकवचनं. सर्वेषु इति सप्तमी बहुवचनरूपं. सर्वशब्दः सर्वनामशब्दः. कालेषु कालः पुल्लिंग सप्तमी बहुवचन रूपम. योगयुक्तः पुल्लिंग प्रथम एकवचनं. भव इति लोट्लकारः. मध्यमपुरुष मध्यमपुरुषयोः वा?
मध्यमपुरुष एव।
अस्तु। पार्थ अर्जुन कश्चन कोऽपि योगी समाहितचित्तः एते इमे श्रुति गति जानन् विदन् न मुह्यति भ्रान्तः न भवति तस्मात् ततः हेतोः सर्वेषु निखिलेषु कालेषु समयेषु योगयुक्तः समाधिविशिष्टः भव वर्तस्व। अन्वयः पार्थ एते श्रुति जानन् कश्चन योगी न मुह्यति तस्मात् अर्जुन सर्वेषु कालेषु योगयुक्तः भव। तात्पर्यम् अर्जुन एतौ मार्गौ विदन् कोऽपि योगी भ्रान्तः न भवति तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु समाहितचित्तः भव। व्याकरणम् सन्धिः न एते वृद्धिसन्धिः योगयुक्तो भवार्जुन योगयुक्तः प्लस भव विसर्गसन्धि सकार रेफः उकारः गुणः च भव अर्जुन भवार्जुन सवर्णदीर्घसन्धि कृदन्तः श्रुति श्रु तिन् प्रत्यय करणे सरन्ति आभ्याम् इति श्रुति। एतत् न ज्ञातं भगिनी एकवारं विवृणोतु कृपया।
So here Sruti is a Strilinga Shabdameva. Dvivachanam.
Okay.
So margameva. Sruti ityukte margameva. So these two paths. Na ete Sruti partha janan yogi muhyati kaschana. So knowing these two, ete Sruti janan yogi na muhyati. By knowing these two gatis, yogi will not be confused.
Okay.
Na muhyati. So tasmat ataha means that is why sarveshu kaleshu yoga yuktaha bhava. So you have to be yoga yuktaha means you have to have the understanding of this
just like how a yogi behaves, you have to behave like that.
So we have to keep in mind this all the time. Then what will happen by keeping this in our mind all the time? We will tend to focus on what is more important. It will be easy for us to not deviate. It will be easy for us to not deviate. So he who knows about these two paths, there is no confusion for them. Now, like earlier, I was telling about people who say that I don't know what will happen in after death. I don't know what happened before I was born. I was born somehow, and let me enjoy this life. So once that thinking comes, they will do anything. For them, enjoyment, for every person, it is different. So depending on how their thinking is, they will do whatever they please. That is the reason why there is so much of crime in the world today. Because they don't think it is what they are doing is wrong. They think, right now I want to have some good time. What can I do? If I hit him, I'm getting some kind of happiness. So he is hitting them. If I steal this money, I can enjoy. I can buy what I want. He is forgetting what he is doing is a wrong thing. So just because they are not aware of these two paths, there is a lot of confusion in their mind. They don't know what to do, what not to do. So they are doing whatever comes to their mind. But if we know, then we will pull our mind back. No, that is not the right thing to do. If you do that, you will not even be born as a human. You will be born into another body, which is not a human body. That way, there will never be an opportunity for us to even do any kind of sadhana. So we will refrain ourselves from not doing the wrong things. And we are doing the right things. So we know that we are doing right things, but we are still humans. So we have some kind of expectation for the things that we do, which is still okay, not bad. But we also should know that by doing that, we will come back. We will come back. We cannot simply think, oh, I am doing so many Satkarma Charana, so much of Satkarma Charana, I will attain moksha. we cannot be in that false impression. We know that we will come back. And if when we come back, we will have to reap whether good or bad deeds that we have done, we have to reap. So that thought should be there. Then whatever we do, we will do with caution. Because if you do something bad, you will experience that either in this life or in the next life. If you don't want to experience that, then you better not do anything bad. Okay, don't develop any negative emotions against anybody. Such kind of things, we will refrain. We will with practice, because we know. Only when we know, we do that. If we don't know, we won't practice anybody, because children, they don't know all this. They tend to do some naughty things, right? Only when we tell them, they will understand and they will refrain themselves. Similarly, we also constantly, whatever we are doing, we have to question ourselves. Why am I doing this? Am I doing this because I'm angry with somebody? I am expecting something from somebody? Like this, we have to question our every deed. If we realize that we are doing this only because we are angry, for some reason, there is no proper reason to get angry, but we are doing something in that anger. We have to take a minute, decide why we are doing that. And if it is because of such negative emotions, we have to take time off and not do that. After a while, that negative emotion will go away. Then again, we have to do what is the right thing to do. Like that, we have to constantly question our actions and correct ourselves. Why? Because we know that if we give in to such emotions, we will again have to go through that difficult time. We have to pay for what we have done, whether it is good or bad. We don't want to put ourselves in that difficult situation, so we will not do. But if that thought is not there, people will not be afraid to do bad things. That is the reason why people do bad things, because they don't know the result of it. So knowing these two paths, a yogi will not be confused. He will never be in any kind of bhranti if he knows these two paths. So you also, like a yogi, remember these two paths all the time so that you can become yoga yuktaha. Okay. Anantaram, the last shloka of the 8th chapter. Alivelu Bagini.
भगिनि वेदेषु यज्ञेषु तपस्सु चैव दानेषु यत् पुण्यफलं प्रदिष्टम् अत्येति तत्सर्वमिदं विदित्वा योगी परं स्थानमुपैति चाद्यम् वेदेषु अकारान्त पुंलिंग सप्तमी बहुवचनं यज्ञेषु अकारान्त पुंलिंग सप्तमी बहुवचनं तपस् सकारान्त नपुंसकलिंग सप्तमी बहुवचनं पुंलिंगमा तपस्
नपुंसकमेव
नपुंसकमेव च अव्ययम् एव अव्ययम् दानेषु दानः अकारान्त पुंलिंग सप्तमी बहुवचनं यत् शब्दस्य प्रथमा एकवचनं नपुंसकलिंगं पुण्यफलम् अकारान्त नपुंसकलिंग प्रथमा एकवचनं प्रदिष्टं प्रदिश प्रतिष्ठं
प्रत्ययम्
ताप्रत्ययम् नपुंसकमेव
प्रथमा एकवचनम्
अत्येति
किं भगिनि
अत्येति
किं भगिनि
धातु किं
दिश् धातु
दिश् धातु अस्तु शकारः षण्मुखशः आगच्छति किमर्थम्
षण्मुखशा एव षण्मुखशाना
शकारं शिवाशकारं
तकारस्य अस्तु श्रुत्वसन्धिरूपेण आगच्छति
ओहो इन् प्रदिष्टं षण्मुखशा अस्ति बट इन द धातु इट इज
yes shankarasha
yes many times that modification there will be that dhatu roopam will change
yes
that will be there yes
astu bhagini
अत्येति अत्येति गन् एण्सन्धि
Ati upasarga I dhatu.
I dhatu.
I dhatu prathama purusha ekavachana rupam eti.
Prathama purusha ekavachana. Tat sabdasya napumsakalinga prathama ekavachanam sarvam. Napumsakalinga prathama ekavachanam idam napumsakalinga prathama ekavachanam.
So all these three are dvitiya vibhakti ekavachanam. Why? Because they are viditva. Idam viditva. It is karma padam to viditva. So dvitiya vibhakti.
Dvitiya vibhakti ekavachanam napumsakalingam eva.
Napumsakalingam.
Viditva vidhatu tvantam. Yogi nakaranta pumlinga prathama ekavachanam param. Dvitiya ekavachanam sthanam. Dvitiya ekavachanam akarantam upaiti.
Upasarga
I dhatu. Upsarga I dhatu upaiti. Chadyam. Cha vyayam adyam. Adyam prathama ekavachanam napumsakalingam. Padartha yogi samahita chittaha idam etat sarvam sakalam viditva vijnaya vedeshu nigameshu yajneshu yageshu tapassu rateshu daneshu cha eva vitaraneshu cha punyaphalam sukritaphalam sadishtam proktam tat sarvam tat sakalam atyeti atikramyati param uttamam adyam moolakaranam sthanam pradesham upaiti prapnoti. Anvayah yogi etat sarvam viditva vedeshu yajneshu tapassu daneshu cha eva yat punyaphalam pradishtam tat atyeti param adyam sthanam upaiti. Tatparyam samahita chittaha etat sarvam vijnaya nigameshu yageshu vrateshu daneshu cha yat sukrita phalam proktam tat sarvam apeksham tat brahma prapnoti. Madhvamatam idam adhyatmadi swarupam bhagavataha asesha srashtutvam sukla krishna margadikam cha pragrutam viditva atisaya phalavan bhavati. Vyakaranam sandihi chaiva cha eva vritti sandihi chadyam cha adyam savarna dirgha sandihi samasaha punya punyasya phalam shashti tatpurushaha. Dhanyavad bhagini. Anantaram patami tassatiti.
Patatu. Anantaram patatu. Last lo. So samahita chittaha et sarvam vijnaya nigameshu yogeshu vrateshu daneshu cha yat sukrita phalam proktam tat sarvam upekshamaanaha atikramyati sarvesham yat moolam tat brahma prapnoti. So samahita chittaha. Okay, so samahita chittaha yogi. So here he who has that balance, he who is not having phalapeksha, he who is not having any phalapeksha and any kind of attachment, that kind of yogi, even by doing all the sacrifices or the tapas or the danams or any kind of punya karyam, whatever he is doing, he goes beyond all that. Why? Because he does not have phalapeksha and he does not have any kind of attachment. So, and he will obtain moksha, paramapadam, paramam sthanam upaiti, prapnoti. So, by knowing all these teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, one will be able to do that. So, whatever, all these are given in the Vedas, right? Whatever is told in the Vedas, and by performing these sacrifices. So, in the Vedas, it is given by doing all these, what one gets. What does one get by doing all this? The paramam sthanam. But how should they do it? How should they do it without any
phalapeksha
and attachment? Only then they will be able to get. That is what this, we are being told. Okay. Idanim patatu bagini. Anantaram shanti mantram api.
आं भगिनि। ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे अक्षरब्रह्मयोगो नाम अष्टमोऽध्यायः। हरिः ओम्। ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। धन्यवाद भगिनी सर्वेभ्यः।
धन्यवादः भगिनी, सर्वेभ्यः धन्यवादः।
भगिनी
सर्वेभ्यः
एकः
युगादिनस्य शुभाशयाः।
प्रश्नः अस्ति।
युगादिपर्वणः
पुरुष
सन्दर्भे
प्लस् भावे अण् इत्युक्ते पौरुषं शुद्धं वा?
किं भगिनि? पुरुष प्लस्
पुरुष प्लस् भावे अण् पौरुषं वा?
भावे अण् प्रत्ययं वा? Purusha, Paurusham, how will it become Paurusham is
भावे प्रयोगे पुरुषा प्लस भावे अण् प्रत्यय.
so the bhave implies the dhatu rupam, dhatvartam. Basically, that bhave is given. What it implies is you are taking the bhavartha. Means here Purusha, Paurusham. It is Paurusham indicates that Purushatvam. The quality of that dhatu. That is what that bhave indicates.
Then the Paurusham.
It is a tadditta. It is a tadditta word. Yeah.
Purusha plus bhave and there is a question mark. What is the result? So Paurusham.
Paurusham is correct, but it is a tadditta pratyayam.
Tadditta. And Jna plus san, kartari prayoge, Jnatva va? Jnana. San pratyaya.
San pratyaya is sannantas. Right? What is the dhatu?
Jna.
So I have to look up Bhagini. I don't remember off of my mind, but it will come like for pat dhatu patishu, like that it will come.
Oh.
So you look up
Jignasu,
Jignasu, yes. Jignasu, or look at the ending correctly. I don't remember that.
Okay, I will look into it. And Buddhayaha is Ikaranta Strilinga. Tad Buddhayaha is Dakarantam va? Tad Buddh.
Buddhihi, right? Buddhihi, Bahuvachanam Buddhayaha.
Tad Buddhayaha Strilingam bhavati va ya Napumsakalingam? Tad asti.
So Ikarantaha asti. Ikaranta Pumlinga Shabdam Bhavitum Arhati.
Tad Buddhaya api. Okay. Pullingam eva.
Tat Buddhayaha is given, or what is given with Tat?
Tad Buddhayaha.
Buddhayaha is there, no? So it is Bahuvachanam Pumlinga.
Same. And then Madaha Akaranta Pullinga Pratama Bhakti Ekavachanam. Veda Vidaha is Dakaranta Kadu. Thank you again. Thank you so much.
So Dhanyavadaha Sarvebhyaha. Shubharatri.
Ugadi Subhakanksha.
Ugadi Shubhashayah. Sarvebhyaha.
सर्वेभ्यः